So there's this guy online. You've probably heard about him by now. If it's not his video about Shaolin monks raising him that got your attention, it might be the TikTok of him explaining how he beat off 30 guys all by himself. Yeah, you heard that right. Anyway, the punk goes by King Azoulay. Sounds majestic, right? Like some ancient bloodline or royal dynasty dripping in gold and wisdom. Except, yeah, no. Turns out King Azoulay isn't a king. He's barely a jester. He's a joke. He's one of the worst of the worst. Thanks to John Bravo, all of Ben Azoulay's dark secrets are officially coming to light. Full disclosure. This video was going to be the typical snark about a new member of the alpha male universe. But there's so much more to him than that. And none of it is good or funny or even anything that can remotely be joked about. I knew as soon as I saw the clip of Azoulay saying that the reason he went to prison was because someone told the police he did something he didn't do, that it was going to be bad. Little did I know how right I was or how bad it was actually going to turn out to be. This video will be different than the rest. It has to be to give the victim the respect she deserves. Thank you once again to the real king, John Bravo himself, for doing the legwork and getting the paperwork necessary to show this joke of a man's real life. Viewer discretion is definitely advised. Trigger warning too, because this one won't be easy. Let's talk about the facade, shall we? Azoulay would love for you to assume that women fawn over him. He's never had to work for a woman's affection in his entire life, yada yada yada. But that's not the case. Not at all. Let's go back to when Ben, the fake king, was 18. I'm going to put the paperwork on the screen so you can pause and read it. YouTube is crazy about certain words, so I have to be careful what I say, so bear with me. This lawsuit stems from when Ben, his brother Dylan, and their friend Mawar picking up a few girls in Sherman Oaks, California, and going to a party at their house. I'll be referring to the victim as H to protect her privacy. On the way to the house, the boys stop at the liquor store. With their with their fake IDs. Ben and Dylan also give the girls marijuana. After being supplied alcohol and marijuana by defendants Ben and Dylan Azoulay, H was forcibly dragged into a bedroom by Ben, who stripped her of her clothes, forced her to perform OS on him, and then he did it to her. Ben then proceeded to brutally force himself upon H, beating her and raping her against her will. The other boys watched while this was going on, but did nothing to stop him. H struggled to keep Ben away, but was overpowered and told not to fight. H attempted to leave several times, but was prevented from doing so. In fact, each time she attempted to escape, she was pulled back into the room and subjected to further assault. After Ben had finished ravaging H, he passed her to his brother Dylan, who dragged her from Ben's room to Dylan's room. H repeatedly told Dylan no, but Dylan told her that she had said yes, so she had to have sex with her against her will. Along with that, he also bit her on her neck and breast. Dylan and Ben then flipped H onto her stomach, face down, where she was again R-worded from behind by both. During the assault, one or more of the boys had sex with her. After being repeatedly R-worded by Ben and Dylan inside the house, Ben and Dylan moved H to a couch in the backyard. Upon seeing H lying on the couch, Mayor Vered, taking advantage of H's inability to resist, forced his fingers into her and then proceeded to R-word her. Ben and Dylan watched, but did nothing to stop him. Somehow it still manages to get worse. While H was being R-worded and brutalized in their home, defendants Rachel and David Azoulay, parents of defendants Ben and Dylan, returned home from a party. Ignoring girls' voices they heard in the house and backyard, Mr. and Mrs. Azoulay did not check the identities of the children in their home, did nothing to intervene in the party going on, and instead simply retreated to their bedroom. Approximately 30 minutes later, Mrs. Azoulay heard yelling from outside and a girl screaming. Outside, she saw her sons Ben and Dylan, 3 other boys, 2 extremely intoxicated underage girls, beer cans, and bottles of whiskey and vodka. Rachel Azoulay watched Mayor take H, who she knew to be drunk and underage, out of the backyard and through a side door and did nothing to stop them. Man, oh man, so that's a lot to unpack. Now it's starting to make sense on why Azoulay insists on displaying his little man syndrome all over the internet. It's sick to think back on the clip where Azoulay says that yes, he has in fact been to prison, but it's because someone falsely accused him. This is not the paperwork from someone that has been falsely accused. Not the case at all. In fact, there's more to it. According to the paperwork, Ben, Dylan, and Mare were subsequently arrested and interviewed by the police. Ben and Dylan admitted that knowing that H was underage and highly intoxicated, and admitted having sex from any number of girls whenever he wanted. Ben and Dylan also informed the police that they had watched Mare R-H. Ben was prosecuted as an adult. Dylan and Mare were charged as minors. Ben even admitted his guilt in open court and was convicted. There was a civil lawsuit as well, but the details are hidden, and I'm going to assume that how the wannabe king wants it. Either that or he didn't pay the settlement that the poor girl was sure to have won. So next time you see one of his videos talking about how much money he has and how successful he's become, remember that he quite possibly ruined a 15-year-old virgin's life. It's kind of hard to move on from this huge, eye-opening revelation about our not-so-favorite king. But now that you know his foundation, how Ben grew up, what kind of environment he came from, and how his parents raised him, then it should be easy to make up your mind about what else this video is going to show you. It seems silly with all things considered, but I'll let you make up your mind yourself. Take everything with a grain of salt, and let's give a not-so-friendly welcome to the newest member of the alpha male universe. Proceed with caution and your sense of humor. Okay, so how does Azoulay actually make money if he doesn't own any real businesses? That's where things get spicy. Most of these so-called influencers operate in a grifty gray area. Affiliate links, drop shipping with brutal margins, low-rent crypto tokens, and worst of all, coaching packages that promise the world but deliver a PDF and a WhatsApp group full of confused teenagers. He'll charge you $2,000 for a mindset unlock. Yes, that's a real phrase he used, when really you're just paying for a bunch of recycled Gary Vee quotes and a Canva workbook on how to build your brand aura. But let's keep going. You know what the cherry on top is? He has no receipts, not even fake ones. The screenshots he posts as testimonials are literally just DMs with no usernames, like, bro, you changed my life far. Cool, but who are you? A bot? His cousin? A ghost? The guy is allergic to transparency. You ask him for proof, and he starts talking about energetic alignment. Sir, this is not a yoga class. You promised passive income. Show me a receipt or log off. So why does this matter? Who cares if some random dude online is faking a lifestyle? Well, here's why I care, and why maybe you should too. Because behind every King Azoulay, there are thousands of young people watching and thinking this is what success looks like. That being an entrepreneur means flying private, never working, and somehow manifesting a six-figure income while posting thirst traps from Mykonos. And when that doesn't happen, they feel like failures. Like they're doing something wrong, but guess what? They're not failing. They're just comparing themselves to a walking illusion crafted by someone who doesn't even believe his own hype anymore. It's not about Azoulay. It's about the culture he feeds and the damage it does. So what's the takeaway here? Easy. If someone's lifestyle seems too perfect, too flashy, too flawless, it probably is. Real success is messy. It's not all jets and jacuzzis. It's spreadsheets, sleepless nights, nervous breakdowns, and parking lots. And 3 versions of a pitch deck no one ever opened. Azoulay wants you to believe success is simple and sexy, that it happens overnight. But in reality, the people who actually make it, the ones building things that last, don't have time to film every moment of it for Instagram. They're too busy, working. So next time someone calls themselves king online, ask to see their kingdom.